everyone. My name is Rodney Smith. I'm here with Board Game Geek and Connor McGooey of Inside Up Games, and you brought a game with you. What is it?
Gorus Maximus.
It is Gorus Maximus. I don't know how far we can get into this before we have to talk about the art. Probably not very far at all. So here's the cover. This is some of the funniest, goriest art I've ever seen.
Quan Chai is a machine. If anyone who doesn't know Quan Chai is missing out. Check into his entire portfolio because his skills are insane.
A growing portfolio too. We're seeing his artwork on a lot of different games that are coming out, right? And you've got it here on this game, which is a trick-taking game, we should probably say, with some of the craziest theme I've ever seen. When I think of trick-taking games, I think of kind of plainish, non-existent theme, honestly. That's not usually where the focus is. You've got a different direction here.
Yeah, so it was one of those fun things where I started this idea 10 years ago. We started the idea of the game, but I saw Quan
10
Chai.
years ago? Wow.
Yeah, my wife and I actually made it up on the beach in Thailand.
Okay.
But I ran into Quan Chai. Actually, I met him for the first time at Gen Con last year. He was a fan of Summit's art, and I found out who he was, and I was a huge fan of his art. And it's one of those bromance things where we were like super happy, hit it off, and I listed the projects I had coming up, what he wanted to work on. This piqued his interest, and I basically said, like, what do you want to do? What inspires you? What kind of art style?
Yeah.
And he said, I did this drawing a while ago. I just haven't found a game for it. And I said, dude, let's do it.
You found it now.
And he's like, do we need to tone it down? I'm like, do whatever you want. Tone it up. You whatever you want.
He went to the 11 with this. So tell us a little bit about the theme of this game quickly, then we can talk about some of the mechanics here.
So basically it's a 2 to 8 player trick-taking game.
2 to 8, okay.
Gladiatorial Combats.
Right.
The idea behind the game is that you're going to be competing to get crowd favor, and you can see the little crowd favor points under here. So get the crowd on your side.
So the crowd favor are like the yellow circles here?
Exactly, that's right.
All right.
So basically what you're going to do is, and you want the positive ones, obviously.
Yes.
And whoever has the most positive crowd favor at the end of a round will be earning tokens. Whoever has 3 tokens wins the game. So very straightforward, very simple. No, you don't have to worry about keeping track of score or anything like that. But basically what's going to happen is we'll be putting gladiators into the arena, and whoever's is stronger is going to win.
Okay.
When
highest
you win,
value, is that?
Highest value is going to win, exactly.
So that's what we're seeing here across the top. These are the values here, the strength of the fighters, okay?
Exactly, and then what's going to end up happening, so let's say Rodney plays his Secutor and I put my Rudiaris in there, he would win the trick because his 11 beats my 10, and you'd have 2 crowd favor. However, if you were foolish enough to actually lead with your Secutor, I might throw my prisoners in there, actually giving you a total of -3.
Because I'm going to win here because I have the 11. I win, but I'm taking some negative points with me when I go.
Because the crowd don't like it.
And you're happy to do that.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, and that's one of the small, simple mechanics that makes it work really well. So I come from a bridge background.
Okay.
I bridge every Sunday with my parents, and I love it. But one of the good and bad things with bridge is you can lead high and just drain out all those junk to run the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot do this in this game, right? You need to slough, you need to avoid, you need to pass, because you don't know what's going to happen.
You almost want to come in, I'm imagining, and take the trick once you've seen the lay of the land and go, oh, this is all good stuff. I'll take it now, thanks.
100%.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Okay.
Which makes it lots of fun. And then, so that's one of the unique things. The other thing you'll notice is that the values change. So everything from the 2s to the minuses, all the way down to the 0-5 on the 0 card, so the martyr. The interesting thing about this one is this is end of round.
This one here?
That's right. Okay. This is end of round scoring. And this, again, to mention, this is prototype art, so this actual drawing has changed in the final product.
Really? Okay.
You see the Kickstarter, she's got a much more ferocious, aggressive, facing the camera kind of stance, which I love. But anyways, the 0 to 5.
Right, so 0 or 5, right.
So at the end of the round, once all tricks have been played, you will see where trump is, and I'll get into that. Yeah. And only the 0 of trump is worth 5 points. All the other zeros are worth no points.
Okay, so if I have this suit here, and you have this same value, but it's a different suit, the one that has trump gets the 5.
That's right.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so what you're going to
I want to manipulate trump to be matching what I've got at the end
100%.
Okay, interesting.
Okay? Exactly. So that matters. Now, what I was hinting at here was the trump. And that's what this card is for, to monitor which schools are being played. There is a printing error here, yes, for anyone who's seen it. This should be brown, not black, and then these were mixed up. But
again, prototype.
Prototype.
Okay.
Prototype.
Hand wave it away. It's
exactly. So what ends up happening is I've done some examples here in the game. So again, if we were playing a 4-player game, and I started with my 11, I'm going to win this trick. This player has to throw in their 9 for whatever reason, give me some points. Rodney's never liked me. Canadians don't get along at all.
The lies we tell them. Okay.
So he throws in his 8, -4, hurting me on purpose because he wants to win.
I was mean to you there.
Right? And then our friend between us throws in their 5, and I've now won this trick.
Right.
Okay? Over here, what you can do...
Let's move these up just a little bit here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So over here, I'm going to start strong again. I'm going to lead with my 12.
Right.
They're stuck throwing in their 11.
12 coming in here. This person has to follow suit if they have it.
That's correct.
So they play the 11.
Okay, now here's the one exception. In all card games, most card games, you have to follow what's called for.
Right.
So what is lead? This is lead. The one exception in Gorus Maximus is you have the option of following the suit, or if you would like, matching the rank.
Okay,
so
this
11
person,
to 11.
This person played an 11.
That's right.
So I have to follow suit, or I can choose, if I have the matching value, to play a different suit.
Correct.
Okay, right.
So what that ends up doing is now you jump in here, say, you know what, I'm going to match you mano a mano,
right.
and the crowd goes wild. You've now changed trump, the preferred school, from whatever it was to blue. Okay. You are now winning this trick, and you've taken all those points.
Oh, I see. So I want to jump in there when I see lots of points in the pot. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So it's a good way of jumping in to steal what you want to steal, avoid things, slough off cards you don't want to do, and manipulate that trump. So a lot of the certainty that's in some card games is like, okay, like, no offense to euchre players, but in a euchre, you can easily play a couple hands and lay down the rest of your hand because you know what's going to fall out.
We don't want to offend the euchre players.
No, we don't.
Crowd. We love your game. Okay, right. Okay.
But basically, this removes that possibility because things can change. You need to be able to think on the fly and affect it the way you want to.
And sorry, can you remind me again? How is it that I claim one of these things?
Exactly. So we'd play out. There'd be 10 tricks. So basically, what happens? And I'm going way too fast.
No, you're doing great. This is good.
But what ends up happening is it's all player count dependent. So if you actually look at the bottom of these cards, you will see there's twos on all these guys. So if it was just you and I playing, we would remove all those cards and only play with the 0, 4 through 12.
Right.
If we added in a fifth player, we would add, a sixth player, we'd add these in, a seventh player, an eighth player. That is also the number of schools or suits dependent. So we'd play with 3. Out of 4-player game, you play with 4. Out of 5-player game, you play with 5. So that changes.
Changes
so the deck will get bigger or smaller. You'll always have 10 cards to play from. So you'll always be playing with those 10 cards, no matter what the player count number is.
All right.
Once you've played those 10 tricks, you will calculate what your score is due to the crowd favor, how many points you've made. Whoever makes the most points, if you have 9 and I have 8, doesn't matter. You beat me, you get a single token.
I got you.
Once you have 3 points, you win the game. It's that simple.
And how long would you say a game like this takes?
If it was you and I to play, we could probably play it, and you're a smart enough guy, probably think it's 15 minutes tops, 15, 20 minutes to play.
Okay.
At the larger player range, I do recommend the team play, which I also love a team game, a trump team game. Those can take longer, probably up to 35 to 45 minutes to play.
Well, I was going to say, and this is currently, is this on Kickstarter right now?
That's correct, yeah. So we actually launched, this is our third Kickstarter. We launched it on Monday morning, and it funded 12 hours later, which I was not prepared for. Thank you. That's really good. Most of my campaigns take 30 days, so I was shocked.
You weren't disappointed by that?
No, I wasn't disappointed, so I could relax a little bit while here.
It's running right now?
It's running right now.
Until when?
And it runs until July 11th.
And just out of curiosity, what is your intended release date for?
So the release date is for Essen. So the idea being that it'll ship out to backers before that. We'll have it for mass release at Essen. And for our American backers, it's $15 to get in the base game, or $20 to get in on the premium version, which comes with poker chips and everything.
Oh wow!
So now's your chance to do it.
Well, thank you, Carl. That was an excellent overview. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit here about Gorus Maximus. Until the next episode, thanks for watching.